Why do companies choose to outsource work? Does it sound like it's anti-American to hire outside of the country? So what I'm going to share in this episode is really just paint that picture. Like, why do companies do it? And is it the right thing, or is there a better way? If you're open, then by the end of this episode, I think you might have a paradigm shift around outsourcing. Okay, so I've given myself a pretty big task. I've asked you to be open, but I've said that I'm going to cause a paradigm shift. And that's my hope. I certainly had a paradigm shift when I learned about it as well, because I love the United States of America. I love being patriotic, right? And you see companies that say, oh yeah, made in the USA. And you think, ooh, that's cool. I want to support our country. So I'm going to buy these products that say made in the USA. But I actually want to paint a picture and show how outsourcing is really, really helping our country. So let's start by taking a step back and just look at what it's like to hire an employee. So let's say I'm a small business owner and there's a lot of hats that I wear. I've got a lot of responsibilities, right? From the marketing or the sales to the fulfillment, whatever type of business you have, there's a lot of hats. I mean, you have to do the bookkeeping, you have to lock up, you have to be the janitor. So the thought of hiring somebody and really duplicating yourself, because if I've got 8 hours a day, or more realistically, when you're starting out, it might be 12 or 16 hours a day in your business, right? But let's just say 8. If you're working 8 hours a day, you can only do so many things, right? You can only fit so much in a day. And when you hire somebody else and now they're putting in 8 hours a day, that is amazing. It's really amazing. There's just so much that you can do, because you can do some of the tasks and have that other person do some of the tasks. But it seems like a really big step, right? It seems like a really big step, because to hire somebody, you've got to pay them, and a USA wage, what might that be? It might be $3,000 a month, $4,000, $5,000 a month, depending. So you've got to get to a level of profitability in your business to where you can afford to do that and still be profitable. And you have to understand what profit means, okay? Because profit does not mean you're getting paid. That's an expense. So your payroll or your salary to pay you for your own livelihood out of your business, that's an expense. So you take all your business revenue and you take the overhead expense, your expense, and if you hire another employee, their expense, and then whatever's left over, that is profit. So you've got to make sure that you've got enough margins that if you hire somebody for that large amount, that you're still going to be profitable. So just for comparison, let's say that the amount you're going to pay somebody is $4,000 a month. Okay, imagine now, what if you could hire that same person or that same skill set for only $400 a month? Like, whoa, that huge barrier just disappeared. Like, you could probably hire somebody way sooner for $400 a month. That question about profit margins, like, can I still be profitable as a business? Can I still succeed? Can I still exist? If you're only paying $400 a month, but is that realistic? Well, I'm here to tell you there are people around this globe that would love to work for you, and they're actually asking for less than that. I've got other episodes where I've talked about what's the right amount to pay somebody that you hire overseas. So let's just stick with that number, 400 and 4,000. If you're going to hire somebody in the USA, you pay them $4,000. Let's say you hire somebody in the Philippines and it's $400 a month. That's actually pretty realistic. Now wrap your head around this. $4,000 a month, you could hire 10 people in the Philippines. So not only 8 hours is going to be added to your business when you hire one person, but 80 hours. So you're going from you putting in your 8 hours, and for $4,000, you can hire 10 people to provide 8 hours each. So that's 80 additional hours a day. Like, that's a little daunting to think about, of just going from yourself to what am I going to have people do for an additional 80 hours a day. But think about it this way. If you took your day, your 8 hours, maybe you're doing 1 hour on this task, 1 hour on this task, 1 hour on the third task, right? So let's say you've got 8 different tasks that you're doing in the course of a day, and now you can allocate 10 hours to that task and 10 hours to that one, right? So you can really refine and improve your business. You're really able to scale what you're offering. Now, you might have a vision of where you want to take your company. And let's say you're looking out into the future and you think, man, one day I'm going to have 10 people. I'm going to hire 10 people. We're going to be able to do a lot of things. And you hiring one person, so a company of 2 versus a company of 10, or you plus 10. That's drastically different in what you can do, the services that you'll be able to provide, the efficiency. Imagine you and 10 people all moving forward towards one mission. So that's what's possible. So we're having this conversation about why would companies outsource their work? Why not hire people in the USA? Well, for small businesses, which is the type of business I have, I could not exist. Like, I hire 23 people full-time in the Philippines, and my payroll to them is $15,000 a month. So you can do the math and divide that out. We provide a huge service to our American clients, and that service just could not exist at the price point we are for them. If I had to pay 10 times the amount for my team, I would have to charge 10 times the amount to my clients. So I've been able to create a service that only big corporations have ever been able to afford, but I've been able to create that same service for small businesses. So small businesses are thriving. Now, here's another example that you've seen, that you've used, whether it's your local grocery store or Walmart or Costco. We benefit so much from outsourced manufacturing, outsourced goods. Like this phone, I'm excited. I'm getting the new iPhone 15 shortly here. This is the 11. This phone is amazing, right? And it's not a cheap gizmo. I mean, I've got the expanded capacity and whatnot. Maybe I paid $1,500 for this device. But if this were manufactured 100% in the USA, and the great blessing that America has of our financial prosperity and being able to leverage and hire people from other countries, I mean, I'd probably have to pay 10 times. Could you imagine? Would I have bought this phone if I had to pay $10,000 or $15,000 for it? I don't think I would have, and I don't think you would have it in your pocket either. So when I started my company and I started looking at all the tasks that I was doing, and I have the option, I can bring somebody else. I can get their help in the day. Would it have been smart for me at all to hire somebody for $4,000 a month if somebody out there was saying, hey, I've got this skill set and I would love to work for you for $400 a month. It would be a huge blessing for me. Please hire me. How can I justify that decision? I would definitely, it totally makes sense. So think about it from the USA employee's perspective. Let's say they are a video editor and they say, well, you should hire me. I need $4,000 a month. But what opportunity do they have? Because they've got the skill set, just like somebody in the Philippines might have that same skill set, but they happen to be in America and they need to make $4,000 a month to be able to afford their cost of living. But that editor has the same opportunity as I do. They could hire somebody in the Philippines, but they could lead them. They could manage them. They could probably create a better company than me because they understand the editing industry far more than I do. The problem comes when the editor says, I'm entitled and you shouldn't hire somebody else that's a better value because I'm here and I've got this training and I'm entitled to you to pay me $4,000. So I'm curious, did I cause a paradigm shift? I'm guessing that some of you will say yes and some of you will say below. Let's have that conversation below. I'm very interested.